Hello and welcome back. So, in this section, now we're getting our hands dirty. We're starting to build the actual integration. Don't worry, we're not starting big, we're starting very small. We'll just build this small Twitter application using Logic App that we just reviewed in the last video, right? So, all we want to do is we want to see whenever someone tweets about a particular keyword, that's your brand, for example, right? So in this exercise, let's see if someone tweets about Learn 360, right? Or let's say if someone tweets about Cloud Integrations 101 with a hashtag, right? I want to be notified via an email. So let's go ahead and build this logic app. And if you've not done so, please pause this video here, but go ahead and create your account on Azure, first of all, right? And as I mentioned earlier, Microsoft would give you about $150 or $200. I don't know what's the exact amount right now, but that much credit and a month to play with that credit, right? So use that. And please make sure you follow this tutorial. Let's make sure you do the actual hands on yourself. Otherwise, just looking at the video, it won't be easier for you to understand what we're talking about, right? So let's make sure you have the Azure account ready and let's get started. So I'm on the home page when you log into Azure, right? So when you log into portal.azure.com, this is the front page that you would see. Now, let's go ahead and click on the logic apps, right? Let's see if there are any logic apps, right? So I don't see any logic apps here. If you're logging in first time and if you don't see logic apps here, that's fine. You can just click on this create a new resource. Let's start there. Left side, you see this integration, right? Let's click on the integration. And the first thing in the integration you would see is logic apps, right? Let's click on the logic app. Here you would give the name of your logic app, okay? And there's one more thing you need to do before you do this. So you need to create a resource group. You can create one by clicking here, create new, and all you have to do is give it a new name, and that would create a resource group. I'll send you a link in the description where you can read more about resource group, right? So we've selected the resource group. I'm giving it a name CI 101. You can give any preference that you have. And then here we'll give the logic app name. So I'm going to name this check Twitter feedback logic app. Okay. The next section is where you select where you want this logic app to be hosted, right? So being a cloud, you have an option to host this closer to your users for the better performance. But we'll leave it to East US as is right now. And then let's keep everything else and let's review and create. So here you can see this is the logic app name. And we'll click on create. Now, when you click on create, it would actually create the entire app behind the scenes and then deploy that. And once the deployment is ready, it would give you a notification like this, where you can click on go to resource. So that new resource, the new logic app that has been created, it will take you to that page. Now, when you come to the Logic Apps Designer for the first time, right, it would give you an option of using one of the existing templates. Now, this is another beauty of Logic Apps. There are plenty of templates available to choose from, or you can always go ahead and start with the blank Logic App. But because we're just starting up, right, let's use one of the existing templates. That would make it so much easier for us, right? So as you can just, whenever you type, just scroll through and open each of them and you would understand what each of the template here does, right? But let's select the one that we want to work with. So in the category, I'll just select social. That would give me all of the templates related to various social media. And here, the first one, we can see email yourself new tweet about a certain keyword via Outlook. Right? So I'll just select this template. And then it's asking me that you would be using these services, right? So using a Twitter and an Outlook and another Twitter. Let's use this template. Now in the first page here, when I've already created the connectors, but here basically they're asking you to create a connector. Now creating a connector means you're just logging in with your credentials and give it a name, right? So it's kind of a connection string, right? So you created one connection string. I've given it a name of tweetcon1 and I've connected to my Twitter. You can do so with your Twitter account. Also with the Outlook, because we'll be sending an email, remember? So if someone tweets about my services, I want to get an email. So for that, we'll use Outlook. So again, I've logged into my Outlook with my account, and that's it. So I have my connections ready. Let's click on continue, and that's it. So the template is ready for me. Even if you're coming to this Logic Apps Designer first time, the designer itself is so intuitive and so user friendly that you can almost get started without any help or training, right? Let's see what the first one does, right? The first section, the first shape in the Logic app is called trigger, and any subsequent steps are called actions, right? So let's see what this trigger does, right? So this trigger, when a new tweet appears and then search text. So here I'm just going to put my hashtag CI101, right? So whenever someone tweets about CI101, the second option is how often do you want to check this item, right? So let's put 1 minute, right? You can change this frequency, but for this exercise, we'll keep 1 minute. And so this trigger would check Twitter every minute for this keyword. And as soon as that keyword is found, it would also check who has tweeted about this keyword, right? And then it would send an email. Now here, let me put my email address, lan360@outlook.com. So this is what I want to notify about. So the subject line here is new tweet from, and then these are all the ready-made, from both of these connectors, from the first one and the second one. There are many content which are dynamically available to us, right? These are nothing but a result of an API, right? So this one, for example, the name, right? It was received from this get user API. So let me remove this, we'll put it back, right? So I want to have my subject as new tweet from, and then you see here, as soon as you click on this text box, you will have this dynamic content layout here, right? So you can select the dynamic content. Now this is the get user connection, the second call, right? So if you click on see more, and all of this is what you received from the get user API call, right? So I want to get the name. Let's see what else we have. We have the location, we have the username, description, right? The image of the profile image of the user. We have a lot of things available of this user. So let's add the name. So new tweet from, and I'll select name. So you see the name is here now, right? And similarly, the body has also been created. Now you can play around with this, right? So tweet and tweet text. So here, in my email body, I'll know exactly the tweet text. I'll know when it was tweeted. A URL has also been dynamically generated in my email, right? So I can click on that to go to that tweet directly from my email. And then I have some other parameters included in my email, which is tweeted by, username, description, what's the description of this user, right? How many followers they have and how many friends they have in their Twitter account. So that is it. All I have to do is click save. So it has been saved, right? And let's check this small logic app that we've just built, right? So all I'm going to do is I'll just go to Twitter. Let's go ahead and tweet about CI 101 and let's see what the logic app does, right? So hey guys, I'm taking CI, let me put a hashtag CI 101 course at Learn 360, and it's amazing. Tweet, and let's see what the logic app does now, right? So it's going to be looking out for this tweet every 1 minute. And if you want to manually trigger this, right, you can always go ahead and click on this run trigger, which would actually trigger the logic app right away without waiting for a minute. So here we received the email, obviously, right? So let's see what the email says about. So here is the email. You can see the tweet. Hey guys, I'm taking CI 101 course at Learn 360 and it's amazing. And it was tweeted at this time. I have a link to this tweet, so I can directly go ahead to this tweet and who is tweeted and everything, right? So this was your very basic logic app, right? We used an existing template to build this logic app, and literally if you try this yourself, you would realize how easy and how intuitive it is to build such workflows. Now, this was very basic workflow. We'll enhance it in the next video. But still, if you compare this with any of the other programming languages that you've known so far, you would understand that this is much intuitive, much more easier and very fast to build, test, and deploy production-ready flows like this, right? So I hope you enjoyed this. Get ready for the enhancement in the next video. See you in the next one. Thank you.